Hello, viewer, and welcome to Spotlight here on Hope TV, where you look and live. And we are live here on Spotlight, and we are glad that you are joining us. And thank you always for your messages that are very encouraging. Thank you always for your feedback that is always very strengthening for us. And for that reason, on this edition of Spotlight, we are happy again to have with us Damaris Store. Damaris Store is the founder of Chama Patano. And this party is just one of three that have been founded by women. Yep. So it's significant. And we are going to be talking about women in politics. Yep. So do send us your messages. Let's hear what you have to think of, what you're thinking about in this subject, and we'll be glad to engage what you have to say. We are again happy to have you, Damaris.
Thank you so much.
Public demand says that you be back. You were here a few weeks ago,
yes.
You know, and the viewers really liked what it is that you said.
We thank God.
They were especially inspired by the fact that as a woman, you've started a political party.
Like right? We have a choice.
Yeah, that was very inspiring.
Yeah.
And also the fact that you would move away from a mainstream party, which has been Baba na Mama, that's Kanu,
yes,
you know, and then be bold enough to branch off, whereas really the natural thing would be to stay.
That's true.
So welcome.
Thank you so much.
And before we talk about women in politics,
yes,
tell us about how it's going, Chama Patano. I can see that you're opening offices in so many places.
Yes. One of the key things we decided is we didn't want it to be one place, a national look. So we wanted to be in Wajir, we wanted to be in Turkana. And that's why we decided to open more offices, because I attended a funeral for a friend of my mom's friend. And when I got there, everybody was so receptive. Like the women felt like we have our own. This is us. So that made us really think of opening everywhere, including Lamu. You know, one of those places that you wouldn't even think to have an office. And for us, it's been a blessing because we've really registered numbers. And I can say very well and openly that we have good numbers.
Okay.
We have good numbers.
And
good numbers than some of the parties that you know.
Okay, and you're just beginning, right?
Yes.
Now, of course, everyone would want to know, Damaris, finally, what are you going to be vying for, or are you going to be vying at all? But we'll leave that
for the next time. I'll let you know.
Maybe the next few weeks, right?
Yeah.
You'll be right back here to
on 20th,
tell us,
perhaps, yes,
you know, what your decision is.
Yes, I will.
And as you discern and all that, all the best.
Thank you.
Because I know it's a heated time.
It is not a joke.
Sometimes it's a headache time, right?
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
And with thank God. And from what I want, it's a place where, again, I'll be the only woman in that race. I'll be again a woman in that race. So I'll be coming back to ask people that, what is it that we want to see in that particular region? So I'll be back to ask for prayers. Yes.
Okay, great. We'll look forward to that time.
Thank you.
And want to hear what it is that the Lord has led you, into running.
Yeah.
Now, it's just right for us to start at the right place.
True.
That's the scriptures. We
Yes.
talk about women in politics. And you as a person, you've been in politics for a long time, you know, since you were born, right? But you have also been a Christian who has engaged the scriptures, reflected.
Very well.
And we want to hear some of the direct inspirations, if possible, the characters in the scriptures that have really influenced your thinking when it comes to where you are right now.
Yeah. One of the first key person is Eve.
Eve
in the Bible.
Okay.
When God came to the garden, of course, he looked for the man, but here was a woman. And the fact that this person actually accepted to be the mother of the nations at that time was a key subject to me. You know, she would have given chance, should have done what she wasn't supposed to do. But when God came and asked, she was the first person to be there and say, you know, I'm here and this is what the serpent did to me. So that's one of the key people I look at. But more than anything is Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene.
Yes.
Damaris, your choice of characters is
I know,
quite
right?
interesting. Eve, I thought you'd get a moderate.
No,
but no, you swing all the way to Mary Magdalene.
No. Yes, because Mary Magdalene, from the society, you realize that she had what we call many spiritual, and Jesus sent them away. But if you look at key scripture in the book of Luke, chapter 18, verse 1 to 3, if you read that that verse. Mary Magdalene was a key person in Jesus' ministry. She was so influential. Like if you notice the things that she was doing, meaning that she was financing the ministry of Jesus. And where we come from, we tend to believe that we want to look at the bad side of somebody. But if Jesus was able to pick Mary Magdalene and brought her closer, then that is one person that we really want to be with and look at. The other person is Ruth. You know, Ruth went into a foreign land when she was, she was young. She didn't know much. She didn't have a child from a broken marriage. And there's this mother-in-law who's here bothering, asking her to go back. And at the same time, she went to the king. And she prepared herself. If you read it very well, she took time to prepare herself and kept on asking inside, the key person who was inside, what is it that the king likes? What is it? So she took time to learn about this foreign land. And for me, I looked at it from this point of, I'm a woman, I'm going into a well-dominated, it is so male-dominated that it's even hard to get space there. And so when I look back at what Ruth did, and the Bible says God showed her favor. So I look at that and I say, yeah, you know what, I want favor. We also look at one of the people that people don't read about. We have Salome in the Bible. We have Susanna in the Bible, and we have Joanna. And these are people who walked with Jesus every other day. There's no way. At Joanna and Salome, Susanna, people hardly talk about Susanna. When you think about it, I've never heard a sermon about. Have you? Have you actually ever had a sermon?
No, I'm thinking about it now that we're talking about it. Yeah.
And these are people who were with Jesus in the ministry. When Jesus went to feed the disciples, when you read the lower part, is the responsibilities was given to these women. And honestly, if Jesus didn't bring these people close, which I think we read the Bible selectively, because we forget to say, these women who are with Jesus on a day, disciples left him. If you read it very well, but the people who were there, Mary Magdalene and the mother of Jesus. So for me, these are the women who really inspire me in the sense that we're going into a season, that 2022, where we need to go into that season with the knowledge that it's possible, it's been done. It's been done. And if you look at the ministry of Jesus, there's no part he ever put a woman down.
Okay, just stay with that.
Yes.
Because that's a big point.
Yeah.
That Jesus did not put
a
woman down. That's a strong statement. And this is especially important because the vast reference of women when it comes to scriptures, to a big level, to even a denominational interpretational level, is taken that women are the weaker sex. Gender. They are lesser. They are subordinate.
That's
right?
True.
Now, how do you engage that?
But it didn't say because I'm a weaker sex, I should not lead. If we read Proverbs 31, when you read it, there's a part that actually says, I wake up early in the morning and I go and, nashona, meaning I make money, right? I like what I keep telling people, that yes, I'm the weaker sex, meaning my place is to submit as a weaker sex to you. But that does not mean that I am not able to lead a generation. That does not mean I'm not able to make decisions when it comes to buying land, buying houses. Do you know, I had a discussion the other day, so that women are very powerful. I had a discussion with a friend of mine 3 days ago. And he was panicking. I asked him, what are you panicking? He said, I was telling my wife that I'm on my way. Then I stopped to see a friend up in Capital Center. And then my wife said, I thought you were almost home. And I did a U-turn, Mombasa Road, did a U-turn. That's when he realized how that phone call that tells you that regardless of what people were saying, women are very key in the sense that we make decisions. As much as we are the weaker sex, and in this context, if you look at that part of the weaker sex, is in the context of marriage. It is not in the context of leadership. Because if Deborah was put in that position as the weaker sex, should not be the judge that she was. So the weaker sex, I look at it from the point that, yes, I'm a weaker sex in terms of the marriage, and I cannot be the head, never. I'll always be that weaker sex in this situation. But that doesn't mean that I should not lead.
You know, somebody said that, well, yeah, if you talk weak, talk Jezebel.
Yes.
If you talk weak, talk Delilah.
You know.
Let's bring them into the composition of weak, you know.
Yes,
But
exactly.
that's scriptures. And again, saying that there are strong examples of great affirmation.
Yes.
And especially what you've said, that Jesus did not put any woman down.
No point.
And let's look at our own history
Yes.
in this country.
Yeah.
And again, in your light, women have played a big role in the development of this nation.
No, that's true.
I just want you to tell the viewers some of the women who have really informed your strength.
My strength. First, the one person I look at honestly, and I tell God, thank you for this woman, as much as people look at her differently, is Millie Odhiambo. You know, Millie Odhiambo, first, she's a lawyer. She would have chosen a society, you know, a career to be a lawyer. And but she decided, hey, no, I'm going to lead. And she's among the women we look at, and she'll fight for women. She doesn't take no for an answer if that no doesn't mean, because she's a lawyer. So again, and she has a heart. I've interacted a little bit with her. She has a very big heart. When you have a fundraising and all that, believe me, she'll come through as a mother. So one of the people I look at, honestly, is Millie Odhiambo. She might not know, but I really look up to her because she's one of those people that really, really has changed the way we women look at people in politics. The other woman, and people might not talk much about her, is Sally Kosgei. Sally Kosgei is so learned that if you see how she has worked and being worked with Nyayo, I wonder even why she wasn't chosen in this government, because she really has a vast knowledge, having worked with Nyayo for such a long time. And that's one of the women I look at because of what she did in that time. Being the head of civil service in Nyayo's time wasn't a joke. And then we have Ambassador Amina right now. And these are women, I read about their credentials, and you look back and you're like, Amina might not be in politics, but she's been a CS in very many, you know, key positions. Another person that people hardly talk about is Madam Rachel, Ambassador Rachel Amamo. If you sit down with Ambassador Rachel, you will be shocked at how much she knows. She's led the Ministry of Defense in a critical time, that when we had even Al-Shabaab, and she delivered. And she sits. What I liked, because I've worked under her a couple of times, she would sit there, and then the table is generals, full generals, and they're seated there, and they're all male, and she's the only woman there, you know, and whatever she says goes. But whatever she says is something she has thought about. And in fact, if we were going to go to war today, she being the cabinet secretary at that point, she's able to deliver Kenya without a point where we've had fight. Look at it from now, she's going to foreign affairs. If you go back and look at where we are in terms of international terms, she's delivering. So those are women people hardly talk about, but honestly and truthfully speaking, they really shake the nation. Because when you get to sit, it's just that now maybe because they are cabinet secretaries, they hardly come into politics session. But if we were to give Madam Rachel Amamo or CS Amina to run this country, I can guarantee you we will be among the top, you know, we will not be at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, a good list there of women who you, according to you, have really shaped your thinking.
Yes.
And let's stay with our culture in Kenya, and we're talking about women in politics. And of course, there has been a history, and we still are in the process of that history.
That's true.
Would you say that the culture has become more accepting of women than it has been before?
Yes, definitely. It's become, we are changing. If by the time we had 3 governors last time, it shows you that we are headed somewhere. And I honor President Uhuru because he really wanted women to come into parliament. He really pushed the two-thirds gender. Unfortunately, the time that they were pushing the two-thirds gender, the MPs were not there to vote. So when you look at it, we had 3 governors, and then we had senators, and then now what I liked is we had women as the deputy governors, even though others didn't choose them. And when you look at that, it means that we are headed a direction where my dad, who is in Kalenjin, he's called Kipkoimet, among the older generation that is about to fade, can vote for a woman. You know, my mom tried buying councillor sometimes, like 3 times, then she went for MP. But the one thing that people kept on saying is, she's a woman, you know. But right now, when I went back, the same home that she tried vying years ago, and I said, I am here with a political party, it's at home where I registered a bigger number. And that made me, it's not, and I didn't give anybody money. They just say, this is our girl.
You know, and that's very important for us to examine, because we want to know what has changed fundamentally.
I think what has changed is men are becoming, men are changing in the sense that you'll find that there's more urbanization. You'll find that a man can go to the kitchen now and not have a problem with even trying to cook, you know, unlike before, you know. And we are getting to a point where I think because of urbanization, where, say, for example, Eldoret town is not as it was 10 years ago. It has expanded and going somewhere next to the environs. And then we have social media. We have movies that are making people see, yeah. Actually, you know, there was a time I asked my dad, have you ever told my mom that you love her? You know, he actually blushed and said, we've not gotten there, you know. So I guess because they're now becoming accepted, because when you look at it, for example, Martha Karua, back in, she's one of the women who's had a party. And when she wanted to vie, she got votes. Yes, Waiguru won, but she got votes. But these are 2 strong women who were vying in the same county. So when you look at it, it's like men are coming to agree that actually a woman can lead. The only problem we would have is if these women actually now, yes, go and lead and make it a problem to dominate the men.
And there's always that analysis done when a woman is leading. When there is a problem, there is always a gender blame.
Yes, like even driving. Oh, that is a woman.
how do you see that?
The thing is, we really have a long way to go in terms of what I tell women is, when you get there, don't give them a reason for you to be a topic on the table. And as I used a very good example is Rachel Omamo. We've never, I mean, she's had ministries that have a lot of money, not just little money, ministries that have a lot of money, but we've never had a scandal. Because when she went there with a purpose, and she made sure that here I am, and here, even Monica Juma, she's led a ministries, even right now she's leading a ministry. We've never had any scandals in those ministries, yeah? A key thing to tell you that if you give this woman a position and she does it very well, there will be no room to say, oh, it's a woman, or she did this because she was a woman, or she came to morning because she was in mood swings. You know, there's that. Or today, she was just in a bad mood, or she's in mood swings. No, because you've done your job. So we as women as well have a long way to prove to men that when you give me this position, I can deliver it without, number one, corruption, and without even hurting your egos, but at the same time deliver what I want to do.
You know, and the phrase you've used there is prove to men.
Yes.
Now, does that mean that a woman has to work thrice harder?
Yes. That unfortunate, because we live in a patriotic society where, for example, Maasai, even Nandi, Kalenjin, it's very hard, right, I have to really work extra hard for me to reach where, even if a man is doing poorly, you know, but the fact that I'm just a woman and they've been wired in this sense that I don't know what they're told in the circumcision area, because whatever they're taught there, most of them are taught that, and I'm glad that we're moving out of that now, is that a woman is just somebody to keep the house. A very good example is my home. My brothers are younger than me. One day he came from the circumcision home and they were just coming in with friends. I had just finished cooking. Then he asked me, nataka chakula. I looked at him and told him, Silas, I'm paying your school fees. How do you ask me for? So out of respect, I served him. But you see, he already had it in mind that my older sister can serve me, and we needed to change that because I have to prove myself so much, that for me, for example, if we're seated here and went for an interview, I really have to prove to this panel so much that I can achieve. Whereas you only need to do a few talking.
Yeah.
And we're done. Another thing you need to look at is this current society, which is Kenya. Do you want to tell me in this country we can't have one woman who can be a president? Like really, we're that bad, So we really have to prove that we can be. Even when I can manage a house, I'm the one who runs the house. It's not him who runs the house. He provides, he gives, but I'm the one who runs the house. I'm the one who runs the home. I'm the one who takes care of the watchmen, the who's in the society. Meaning I can manage this. So I have to really, really, really prove myself. But what I like about now is that we've gone to school. So whereas I have to prove so much if I've really, really gone to school, and I can prove that I can do this better, then the panel or the society or the people sitting there will be happy to work with me. Yeah.
Okay. We will delve right into the politics part. We have to take a short break. But in the meantime, when we come back, we'd want to start with asking ourselves, what are the unique things that women bring into the political space?
Yes,
right?
yes,
What are some things that stand out specifically that no one else can bring out these things apart from a woman?
Apart from a woman.
We'll come back to that point. Viewer, we are talking to Damaris Store, and we are talking about women and politics, and lots of insights this far. And keep engaging us. Send us your text messages. Do engage us on Facebook, on Twitter as well. We will be right back after this very short break.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Only God can turn a mess into a message.
I have a boy on a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I'm still preaching on the pulpit.
Amen. Niliona mguu ya nyuma inakuja tu kunikanyaga imenilenga tu kwa tumbo. Nikaitana tu Jesus. I got tired of working with the x-ray papers, and one day I just woke up and decided to burn them.
A test into a testimony.
The whole community didn't want to hear that anybody is born again. Excommunicated straight.
Bila Yesu hakuna njia.
Join Sharon Naitore Wangenye on Testify.
Katika hiyo harakati hiyo spirit ikakemewa, mimi nimeona Yesu Kristo namna hii. Kwa msalaba. Opa. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Every Thursday at 8 p.m. for a moment to grow your faith some more.
Join John Carson every weekday as he takes us on a journey through the Bible.
Whoever shall seek to save his life, if you go back to living for yourself, you're going to lose it. But whoever shall lose his life, give up his life for my sake, he shall preserve it.
Enjoy interesting, knowledge-packed, yet simple teachings through his humor and in-depth understanding of God's Word.
The last people that tried to put God in a box, literally, he rose again. He wouldn't stay in their compartment. If God was small enough for me to figure out, he wouldn't be big enough for me to worship.
Tune in to Hope TV for John Cousin every 10 p.m., 4 a.m., and 10 a.m. weekdays on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Welcome back, viewer. This is Spotlight. We're talking to Damaris Toa, who is the founder of Chama Patano, Kenya. Just an amazing conversation about women and politics. And keep engaging us. Send us your text messages. Also send us your engagement on Facebook and Twitter. We'll do our best to engage it. And again, this is our Spotlight on Hope TV, where you look and live. Now, we say that one of the important things that we need to know is the specific things that a woman brings to the political table that no one else can.
Wisdom. That's the first thing. When God went to ask Eve, like when first he asked Adam, where are you? The first thing Adam did is he blamed the woman. The instructions were not given to us, they were given to Adam. So whatever I could have done, Adam needed wisdom on how to handle a situation. When it comes to sitting at the table, women, and this I have no apologies, women are wiser in a situation because they think analytically. I mean, I've carried a baby in my womb for 9 months. I've been patient for 9 months. And like a man who doesn't understand what delivery room looks like in terms of pain. So I believe one of the key things is that what a woman brings to the table is wisdom. We have a sixth sense. What you see right now, if I took time, I would see it in a different angle. So, and it's a blessing that God gave us that sixth sense. And another thing is we are prayerful women. If the Bible says that if a nation calls on me, I will answer. In the house, half of the people I see are the women who are the ones praying. So with that, and a prayer holds a nation. I mean, we saw the deputy president himself saying that were it not for the wife in terms of prayers, he doesn't know what would have happened in ICC, meaning that this woman was always praying for him. So there's that aspect of the prayer which we bring to the table, and of course prayer changes things when it comes to the table. Another thing is we are very intelligent. And I say this because...
Are you saying that there's something like female intelligence?
Yes, of course. Even if you see children right now playing, and they're young, there's a boy and a girl, and you ask some questions, you'll realize that the girl is a bit intelligent than the man. Remember, I'm carrying 9 in terms of, I have an extra rib than you have. So, I mean, yeah, that's on a lighter note. But yes, the women are very intelligent. If you give them a chance, they're very intelligent. And the one thing they also have is I find, apart from them being pushed, they have such a calm spirit. And those are some of the qualities that you look for.
I'm just thinking that if there's a man sitting there and I ask them, what do you think that women think they have, but they really don't?
Yeah.
Maybe the same list will. They think they have wisdom. They think they're intelligent. They think they're spiritual.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's on another note.
I know.
But let's stay with that and also ask you, Damaris, from your experience again, when it comes to governance and the issues that happen in a nation. That was about abilities.
Yes.
But are there some issues that you feel that from a woman can handle particular issues that are affecting the community better, in a very unique way?
Yeah. The fact that, you see, like when the male have ego, their ego is at times very high, that they wouldn't want to stoop low for a situation.
What are some of the issues that you feel women would handle better?
Let's start even with security. Security in this country. The Nyumba Kumi, I tend to be at home. I tend to hear all the rumors about so and so, so and so, so and so. In any case, if there's an Al-Shabaab who would come, I'd be the first one to know. because I'm the one, I would speak to a house girl, my house girl will speak to a house girl, and we'll get to know. So I believe that
the grapevine,
the
rumors.
if we were given security, would be a very key thing. In terms of negotiations, women are very good with negotiating and fundraising. So if we're given like the foreign affairs, that would really work. The other thing is education. Education is what I think should be led by a woman. I'm the one who does homework with the kids. I'm the one who, the child comes home and says, Mommy, this is what the teacher says. Mommy, this is what me says. If you look at the ratio in school, 10 women, you'll find 2 are male in a class. I don't know why we just, but maybe because we are nurturers. So education is one of the key things that we really need to see that women are there. I also look at it from, like now in Kenya, for example, is devolution. In terms of the resources that go to the counties. I'm the one who understands how to fetch water. I'm the one who understands how to light mishumaa or whatever, for cooking. You know, I'm the one who understands how to be beaten by rain. I'm the one who understands how to firewood, because I'm the one who goes and collects firewood. So I'm the one who would go through that road going to the clinic for the 9 months, assuming I have 7 children. So in terms of roads, in terms of public works, actually the only thing you men should be given, by the way, come think about it, I think it's about 2 ministries. You know, you should be given about 2 ministries. I would really want to see the next government.
You know, I'm sure that men would have a whole different story about all those things you mentioned about. But
if you look at it critically, even from the Bible, at times we base so many things. But if we just go back to the Bible, I know of a woman in this country who's a financier, who finances people. And just because she's a woman, she can't get to rise to that. But she really, really has the money to finance the politics and the elections. So in this case, if we decide to look at it critically, we will accept. The truth is, we will actually accept. It's just the only problem we have in this country, and we really need to get rid of it, is greed. Greed in the sense that I've been a senator for 10 years. Now I want to be a governor. So what will happen to these other leaders that are coming in? Or rather, I've been a woman rep for 10 years. What is it that I can't? Why do I want to still to go to that? If you're honestly genuine about wanting to see a better Kenya, why don't you step down? You've done 10 years. Step down, let another person lead.
No, let's stay with that. The politics.
Yeah.
And the women. When you get to this high political season, very intense time.
Yeah.
And it's cutthroat competition.
That's true.
You know, the man who is vying to be member of parliament would want to bring down the woman, you know, to the lowest level.
True.
The woman won't do the same thing, you know, bring down this man until they capture they capture the seat.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell us some of the very, very candidly, some of the unique challenges that a woman faces on the campaign trail?
Let me even start with myself. I come from Nandi. I'm married in Murang'a. I really would love to go back home and support people where I come from. I would really want to vie in Murang'a, where I'm married. But then there's that issue, tribal issue. We might lie to each other that there's no tribalism. That's a lie. The one thing that I can't go home. In fact, when I tried going home, my brother just told me, you know, you can't do this. I said, why? He said, I mean, everybody will. The only person who's ever managed to do that is the late Laboso. May she rest in peace. That's the only person who's been married in a different community and was able to go back home and was a governor in her home where she was born. It's unheard of. So that is one of the things, that is one of the challenges that we get, that as much as I want to go back to Kabiamit and make Mosop a better county, or even go and become Nandi County, make it a better place, because that's where I went to school, that's where I grew up, I know the challenges, or better still go to Murang'a, that's where I'm going to be buried, and bring it out, it is going to be a hard thing. The tribal issue is going to be there. The other thing is, one of the key conversations somebody had with my husband was, how did you allow your woman to go to politics? I like what he answered. He said, who else did you want it to go? Did you want your wife to go? That was his answer. He said, so who did you want to go? If not my wife, who did you want to go? But that is because maybe he's exposed. Another person would not have really allowed that. So what I look at is the challenge we get is they tend to tell us we belong to the kitchen. And woe unto you if you have a dark past. Woe unto you if you have a situation where you've had a dark past, or you're a single woman. They tend to bring this thing of being a single woman, or you're not married. They tend to bring it out very, very big and say, oh, she couldn't even manage. Oh, let's say you're divorced. That does not mean that if I'm divorced, I can't make a good leader. Perhaps just that marriage didn't work. But they will bring it to the table that actually what I did was, number one is I couldn't even manage a home. How am I going to manage a county? And to be very honest, men are very good at that. One of the key things when you look at social media is, I don't know whether it's where we are hurt so much. At times I look at some posts and the only thing I ask is, who hurt you? Because by the time you're reflecting that on someone, is you're actually bringing out what is in you. Because a content man would actually not bother whether it's a woman or a man in this situation, as long as you know your place and you know what you're doing. So one of the things was that the society does not, people tend to ask who will take care of the children. When I was nominated in 2017, my son was what, 3 or 4? And everybody was like, who's going to take care of the boy? Who's going to? I said, but my boy is my boy. I can breastfeed and go to parliament. Who said that I cannot breastfeed and come to parliament, And so we really need to look at, why would this man want to put you down? Because I'm divorced or because I'm single. We need to get off that and look at my ability as Damaris. Let my character be the one being judged here, in the sense that, am I able to deliver roads to my people? And I was telling people the other day, when I hear politicians wake up and say, I did this, I did this, I did this for you, I did this for you. One question I tell them is, you pay taxes. So if somebody tells you, I brought you road, no, your taxes brought you the road. So why have we allowed ourselves to be lied so much, especially when a woman stands on a podium and starts talking? The other day, somebody picked a photo that I had with a senior politician sometimes back. We had a function and we took a photo. And the first thing the person said is, I support this one, I support this one. Another one actually picked it up and said, this must be a girlfriend to so-and-so. And that is the reality. Just because I stood there. So I asked them, if you were to take all my photos from the time I was 10 years old to the time I'm here, and then I would be married to about, say, 200 men, So that is one of the things that really, 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 really hurt us, and
I think that's an important matter there, because there's also the matter of sexual harassment.
A lot. You really, the one thing that that helps us as the ones who know Christ. Actually, it's very easy to distinguish when you're somebody who knows Christ, because when you get there, when you start talking, depends, and we women need to learn this, that there's a lot of sexual harassment. There is a lot of a man thinking you're just there as a beautiful woman, you're meant to go for this direction. What they cannot see beyond that. And that happens quite a lot. But what I like is when you go to a place on the table and you present yourself as this person who does not want to entertain such nonsense. For example, I personally, I don't take alcohol. I mean, you will not find me in a bar drinking alcohol, or you'll find me in the wrong place at the wrong time. So I'll not give you a reason to take photos of me in a bar, because, I mean, we have times and seasons of places. So what I tell women is, whatever you do outside there is how you present yourself again is what that man will take. In being the fact that it's a male-dominated world, you realize that I tend to sit with most male. And because they know the stand that I have, at no point, when it gets to 4, around 5, I'll remind them that I'm going where? I'm going home. Somebody would call in and say, I was having my husband dinner. And you know, that kind of thing, they will respect you depending with how you present yourself. But if you present yourself as available, you know, like I'm here, you know, I'm here, we can go out, you know, we can party. That time you're partying and somebody's wife is at home sleeping. So there's that sexual harassment, but I don't want to say that you provoke them to that, but you actually invite them to actually think that I'm available for this kind of a situation.
Okay.
You know, so there are people who will not call. Those who know me will not call me and I say, hey, can we go to the bar? They know it is impossible. They know that it's impossible. If I'm not in a meeting on Saturday, Sunday, they know it's impossible because I'll be in church.
Okay.
So for me, I think more specifically, we need to teach our girls, and we need to teach our young girls especially, that you can still sit at the table, still earn the same respect without the sexual favors.
I think that's very, you know, it's a very profound statement.
We really
that there is space, for women of honor.
For women of honor.
There is space for that.
There's space.
Yeah.
Because what will happen is, internet does not forget. Whatever you do, it will take an idiot to just bring it outside there. And one mistake can cost your entire life. So we really need to teach ourselves that you can still sit at that table, still command respect in that table with all the respect, and you'll be given that respect.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, that's good news, actually, for anyone who is anxious.
Yes.
To know that that is possible.
It is.
We're talking about sitting at the table. And just your quick thoughts on this conversation around that it's time it's highly recommended, or it's highly strengthened, highly called upon that the Vice President of the Republic of Kenya should be
even
a
the
woman.
President. Why should it be the Vice President?
Let's stay with it. Let's stay with the conversation,
deputy. Okay.
the deputy. It seems to be that is the direction.
Yes.
Your comments on that?
Honestly speaking, is I would like to see that. However, I would also like to see that whoever is chosen there is not somebody who's been there, done that. And we don't want to see the old faces that we've been seeing. You know, we want to see somebody who will be chosen. And honestly speaking, I had a conversation. And I had a conversation with some leaders. And I mentioned that bishop, that if you were to be given this bishop, so and so, as the president, would you vote for them? And out of that table, nobody said no. Everybody said, you give me this bishop, I will vote for the president. That's the same thing I'm saying. We need to package this woman that would be chosen. Not because of Mount Kenya or Rift Valley or Western. Let's not look at tribal. Let's look at this woman who's going there, has a track record of delivering, has a track record of doing what we as women would want. And remember, we vote, we women vote. And that's why all these leaders go to Mama Mboga, and it's because we vote. We wake up and vote. So this particular woman, and honestly speaking, I'd want to encourage Kenyans. If we get a presidential candidate who does not give us a woman as a president, forget about that person.
All right. No, we'll pick that up on another time.
Yes.
But just before we end, I just want you to tell the viewers, how would you want them to pray for you?
First, before even praying for me, is it possible that I would want them to pray for the country? I would want them to kneel down and ask God to pray for this country. That the decisions that we make will be informed decisions, will not be the decisions won't be because of money or tribal, and where we are able to say a girl from Karachuonyo, a girl from Turkana, a girl from Kwale Lamu can stand, and it is possible, can want to be a president, want to dream to be a president, and it's possible. So we want that kind of prayer, that we pray for this nation. We pray for specifically the two leaders of this country, which I still keep insisting, even in the last meeting, that we really need to pray for these two leaders of this country, because they hold principality in the power, they hold the country, the two of them. And so we really need to pray for them. And then as for me my prayer is, how do I put it? Acceptance. That we get favor from both man and God, and we get favor that when we go somewhere, we are accepted.
Okay.
And that we get as many as you becoming, I was shocked when one of my pastors called me the other day and said, how comes I'm not a member? How comes I don't have my card?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and just so that people believe in you and people just accept you.
Favor. And one of the ladies you mentioned earlier on was Esther.
Yes.
And how she found favor with God.
Yes.
Damaris, thank you very much for bringing your perspective
Yes.
here on Spotlight. And the viewers definitely, I'm sure, are enlightened about what you're doing and also
Yeah.
about women and
Yeah.
politics and
Yes,
leadership.
please.
And we look forward to having you here again as
Thank
the
you.
political scenario unfolds.
Yes.
Thank you for being with us.
Watch and pray.
Viewer, thank you so much. This has been Spotlight. We're talking to Damaris Store. A lot going on. And one thing that has come out very strongly from our conversation here is that there is a space for women of honor at the political table.
Yes.
This has been Spotlight. Thank you for watching.
God bless.